Hey guys, who remembers this game? This is Ridge Racer Type 4 for the PlayStation, and if memory serves, it's the last Ridge Racer there was for the console. This was made by Namco in 1998. Now things have moved on a bit since Ridge Racer Evolutions, and Rage Racer, and this feels like a really big step for the series, whilst still keeping in line with the whole grip versus drift system the series has already sort of created for itself. You will notice, at least compared to Ridge Racer and Ridge Racer Evolutions, it's quite a polished looking game. There is also a bit more to the menus, and there has been an attempt, if a futile one, to introduce some kind of story in the form of the Grand Prix mode. This is where you will be spending a lot of your time. Now here you have access to 4 teams, each with their own little story, and you also have access from there to 4 different body styles for your car. These will either enhance your drift or grip capabilities when you're driving. Now the real difference is with a drift car you can throw the tail end of your car around tight corners, so the car doesn't really need to brake that much to turn sharply. Now with a grip car you stick to the road a bit more, so not so much drifting happens. Now this means you can take corners at a fast speed, but you'll probably need to brake a little bit to get around the really tight ones. And you might even have to use your brake. Now if you've played any of the other Ridge Racers, you know the brake is the devil. Ideally you want to keep your finger as far away from that button as you can. Now just like every other iteration of the Ridge Racer series on the PlayStation, there are only 2 buttons, brake and accelerate, so stop and go. This simplicity is something a Ridge Racer fan always craves when they play another racing game. That really is just the way it is. There has been an effort here to add a bit of variety to the cars and how they look, which was welcome for a lot of people. I personally insist on being in the cockpit view for this game, as I can drift easier from there, but I'm pretty sure plenty of racers use the outside car view as well, so it's probably nice for them to see something a little different in front of them. Now Rage Racer, or technically Ridge Racer 3, took a step with the graphics to a more realistic look. This looks like a more polished version of that. Honestly, I guess it's the only way the series had to go on visuals, even if I personally like the whole arcade look. The game does look polished though, and not detrimentally either. It's a very tidy looking game. On top of that as well, the cars also sound quite a bit meatier compared to their high-pitched engine growls of the other games. This really does set the series up for how it ended up on the other consoles after the PS1. Now one thing I really have to mention here, and this is what really warrants this game getting a whole separate video, is the story, or the attempt at least of including one. Now you want my opinion? It's a complete mess. The intro video, even on itself, is confusing as hell. Now here it is, I'll show it to you in its entirety. Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong on this one. So 1 second there's cars on a racetrack. They're clearly sort of trying to race, going for first place. Then some random woman, I guess she's further down the track, busts her shoe. The race leader picks her up. Yes, he has time to pick her up, and he has clearly given all the other racers a big slip. Now, this hitchhiker then takes the time to put her shoe back on, so it seems, and then they finish the race? Is that what happened? Did they finish in first? Did the other guys overtake? Did they all crash? And, well, they must have crashed, because these courses in this game are all really short. They're only about 1.5 minutes each. It would have taken them long enough to get in the car, so really what happened in that cutscene? There's a lot of, like, what moments in this game, and I was really tempted to do a sort of full-blown playthrough on this just to showcase them. But take a look at this one from one of the team leaders talking about her fiancé and arranged marriages. Isn't this meant to be a racing game? Shouldn't they be talking about, you know, racing? The randomness isn't really a bad thing. To be honest, with cars that can drift around hairpins at just shy of 150 miles an hour, why would the story need to be realistic? I actually found myself looking forward to reaching the end of each stage after a time just to see how things were going to turn out. This is Ridge Racer through and through, and make no mistake, but our drifty Ridge Racer friend is all grown up and ready to face next-gen consoles by now, armed with an effort on a plot, more cars, paint jobs, and racetracks. There are still plenty of nods to Namco stuff throughout. There's even a course called Phantomil, as in Klonoa, daughter Phantomil, which was Namco's attempt at a hero which I guess wasn't as successful as they wanted. I hope to cover him in another video, so that can wait, but yeah, in conclusion, this was still Ridge Racer, but it felt more grown up, for better or for worse. And just like any old Ridge Racer, if you get the time, try and grab it, because its entertainment value still stands up to pretty much any other racer that's out now. So yeah, see what you think. Thanks for watching.